Storm Track First Forecast, sponsored by Gary County Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Today was certainly a chilly day, but temperatures have actually been climbing a little bit through the evening, and tonight we're starting to see some 40s and even 50s down to the south. Temperature was in the low 40s at the early part of the evening, back to the mid 40s in Topeka, all the way up to 50 now at Emporia, and 47 at Manhattan and Junction City, still holding in the upper 30s to the north. That warmer air is trying to move in. We'll actually see a steadily rising temperature during the night, and maybe some showers by early tomorrow. How much of a rain chance we have for Tuesday? A look at that's coming up. Fox 43 News at 9 starts now.
Now at 9, the race for a vaccine as two companies announce headway and success. Tonight we hear from another company who says they are also close to helping slow down the pandemic. Plus, this year's community Thanksgiving dinner looks a little different, of course. We're giving you a look at the first of 3 pickup locations, and a third vaccine maker announces positive results for their candidate as the new coronavirus surge grinds on. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Mackenzie Davis. Fox News senior correspondent Laura Ingram has more from New York.
More good news on the vaccine front. On Monday, AstraZeneca announcing its vaccine candidate was up to 90% effective in large-scale clinical trials. The news comes just days after Pfizer and Moderna announced high rates of effectiveness in their trials. But the AstraZeneca vaccine doesn't have to be stored at ultra-cold temperatures, making it easier to distribute.
We have to think about vaccinating communities, populations, and that's what it now looks like we're going to have the ability to contribute to in a really big way.
All 3 vaccines are now in the hands of regulators. The FDA's advisory committee is meeting on December 10th to discuss Pfizer's request for an emergency use authorization. Moderna is also on track for a quick approval. And if all goes well, vaccines could be widely available in the early spring.
First responders, doctors, nurses will be the first to receive the vaccine. But then not too long after, hopefully by April, everyone else will be able to be immunized.
But that won't be soon enough to stop a big surge of new cases expected after the holidays. Almost 3 dozen states adding new restrictions aimed at stopping the spread. And public health officials say if these trends continue, healthcare systems will be overwhelmed.
The pressure on hospitals is the highest it's been since the beginning of the pandemic. So it's a very, very serious moment for the country.
The head of Operation Warp Speed says once the FDA signs off, vaccine distributions should start within 24 hours. In New York, Laura Ingle, Fox News.
Sounds like a good step there. Well, tonight we have a new app that is being introduced to help hospitals find beds for patients. It's called the Mission Control app, and with the surge that state leaders at the Department of Health are seeing in cases, the state's giving all hospitals in Kansas access. The tool is usually used to help cut down on the time when transporting patients. Now it's being used to find space when hospitals are overflowing. One of the owners of the company explains how it works.
By being able to link these people together, the senders, the receivers, the transporters, which is what the software does, then we're able to meet the needs of the state. And that's the key.
Before the software, hospitals were spending up to 8 hours on the phone trying to find available beds. Now they can use the software to make that process easier. So far, the company says more than 30 hospitals in Kansas have successfully used the app to move patients. Governor Laura Kelly is asking for an extension of authority to use the Kansas National Guard to fight the coronavirus spread. Governor Kelly sent a letter asking President Trump to extend Title 32 authority, which would allow her to continue to utilize the Kansas National Guard in the state's effort to combat the pandemic. Title 32 allows governors to mobilize their state's National Guard to respond to emergencies. And new tonight, KU is extending its suspension of in-person games the first week of December. The decision was announced today. Now, originally, people would not be able to attend games and events throughout the month of November. Now it's being pushed back to the first week of December, which includes all events on December 5th. After that, the university will decide if people can attend the games on a week-by-week basis, going off the most current coronavirus circumstances and medical guidance.
Had a little bit of rain today and even some sleet falling in the early part of the day with some of those cold rains that moved on through. Southeasterly breezes have been steadily blowing in during the evening. Obviously makes it feel a little bit cooler, especially up north where the temperatures are in the 30s and the breeze is strong. Certainly a chilly evening, but the gradual warming is taking place. It's up to 47 at Burlington and now 50 at Emporia, upper 40s for Manhattan and Junction City as well. All the showers have lifted off to the north and east. Areas of snow kind of on that leading edge of all that precipitation as it moves farther and farther away. You notice most of the state right now is not getting rain, and that's actually going to be the case through a good portion of the night. Maybe a couple of light rain showers, and then things change up. Storm system out west moves in. Rain chances start to pick up through the course of the day tomorrow and into tomorrow evening as well. Tonight, mainly just cloudy. Temperatures holding steady, if not rising a little bit into the mid-40s with isolated showers tonight. Once the rain starts back up, how long it will stick around still to come.
An annual holiday tradition in Topeka changing the way it's feeding the community this Thanksgiving. Normally, people would come in to dine in for the community Thanksgiving dinner for one event, but this year it's spread out over 3 days. The meal put on by the Community Thanksgiving Foundation usually feeds thousands of Topeka families in person, like you can see here at Ag Hall last year. Now, volunteers are handing out pre-packaged meals to people who drive up with their masks on. The president for the foundation says they knew they had to come up with a plan to keep the event this year.
We're fighting through this COVID together, and we haven't given up, and it's just great to see everybody come together and really put on this event again this year. And I think a lot of people need to see that there's still people behind them.
The president of the foundation expects to hand out 1,000 meals a day this year. So if you're planning on picking up your Thanksgiving dinner, it's 1 meal per person and 4 meals per car. You just drive up to the line at the day's location wearing a face mask, and volunteers will get you taken care of. Now, it is first come, first serve. Now, if you miss today's pickup, you have 2 more days to get some food tomorrow. You can go to the Keep It Clean car wash from 5 to 7 at night. The last day for pickup is Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving. That one's at the Antioch Family Life Church from 3 to 5 at night or until they run out. Thanksgiving tends to bring out the inner chef in everyone. Your celebration may look a little different this year, though, as it did in the past. But if you're still making a big meal, how to cook the turkey safely, remains the same. Emily McNamara has more.
The holidays surrounded by food is right around the corner. And though it sounds exciting at first, a few small mistakes can lead to serious illnesses for everyone in your family. The biggest mistake and frequently asked question each year is before the turkey even goes into the oven.
Turkeys need to be thawed at a safe temperature so they don't grow foodborne illness bacteria that could make you sick. And a lot of people think that it's safe to thaw at room temperature, leave it on the counter or throw it on the cold porch for a while to get it to thaw quicker. But it's not safe to do that. We really recommend thawing in the refrigerator or using the cold water method to make sure the turkeys are staying at a safe temperature.
The USDA suggests when washing a turkey, due to the natural occurring bacteria, it is best to avoid rinsing it off in the sink.
What can happen is that can then cross-contaminate onto other foods later on, and then you may not realize it, and then you may accidentally eat those. In addition to the food products being maybe different than what people are used to cooking throughout the year, a lot of people who aren't usually cooking throughout the year are cooking or helping cook something for their families and their friends and having that kind of gathering. It's a big celebration and event, so we really want to make sure that people who are inexperienced and people who are experienced too, that everybody's taking care of food safety this holiday season to prevent illness no matter what.
The USDA has many other ways to prepare and cook a turkey properly, and people will be available to answer questions on Thanksgiving Day. Definitely good to have them around. Well, the holiday tradition in Topeka is still happening this year, but from a safe distance. SLI of Topeka has changed this year's Festival of Trees event to a virtual auction. SLI helps individuals with different abilities achieve independence and participate in the community. The organization has held this fundraiser for more than 40 years. Now this year, more than 55 trees and wreaths have been donated by local businesses and organizations. The online auction starts on Monday, and to view the Christmas trees, wreaths, and to sign up for the auction, head to our website, fox43topeka.com. President-elect Joe Biden getting ready for his transition to the White House. Coming up, who he's picking to fill his cabinet.
Heading into the daytime tomorrow, we do have a lot of rain moving in. Initially just isolated showers, but as we warm into the low to mid 50s, we also see a better chance of rain moving in toward midday, afternoon, even into the evening. How long it will take before it clears back out, coming up.
You're watching Fox 43 News at 9 with Mackenzie Davis, Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller, and Pete Francis with sports.
A major announcement from the General Services Administration, and it's garnering reaction from President Trump about the Biden-Harris transition. The Biden team also announcing who they intend to nominate once President-elect Joe Biden takes office. Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork reports from Washington.
A new development surrounding the Biden-Harris transition and presidential planning. On Monday, the General Services Administrator ascertained that Joe Biden is the apparent winner of the 2020 election. In a letter, Emily Murphy wrote, because of recent developments involving legal challenges and certification of election results, I have determined that you may access the post-election resources and services described in Section 3 of the Act upon request. President Trump also tweeted, I am recommending that Emily and her team do what needs to be done with regard to initial protocols, and have told my team to do the same. The president and his legal team still plan on fighting the results in court.
The only way to meet these challenges, I believe, and so does Connor, that we have to come together as a nation.
On Monday, Biden and Harris met virtually with a few dozen mayors, trying to get a first-hand account of some of the issues that they're dealing with confronting the coronavirus pandemic. His team also announced who Biden intends to nominate for key positions in the areas of foreign policy and domestic security, and it includes former members of the Obama administration. Tony Blinken for Secretary of State, Jake Sullivan as National Security Advisor, and Alejandro Mayorkas has been tapped for Homeland Security Secretary.
I frankly think most Americans are looking for a government that is run and led by people who know what they're doing in these jobs, not folks who are learning on the job.
Next week sometime, the Biden team is expected to name the newest members of its economic team. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Now, Topeka Mayor Michelle De La Isla also attended the meeting with Biden and Harris today. She was actually in that video in case you saw her. Well, just when you're getting ready for Thanksgiving, Christmas creeps up on us. Still ahead, how you can support a local nonprofit this holiday season while still staying safe during the pandemic.
Today, temperatures were up only into the 40s. Actually, the current temperature is the warmest we've been all day in most of the area. Tomorrow, we warm up a little bit more, up into the mid-50s, maybe even mid to upper 50s. Southerly wind, could see showers and possibly a rumble of thunder. Nothing strong out of those storms, but certainly a warm-up into the day tomorrow, but not really an enjoyable day. Wind will be warmer with some pleasant sunshine. Look at that's coming up.
Now, your Storm Track weather with Chief Meteorologist Matt Miller.
Cloudy weather around tonight, really keeping temperatures steady. Southerly winds develop, and with the clouds around, temperatures may climb a degree or two during the night rather than cooling off. Showers move back in tomorrow, rain, maybe even a few thunderstorms around. When the rain is wrapping up, we'll have to watch just how quickly the colder air comes in on the backside of the system, maybe a brief wintry mix. Then we start to clear out on Wednesday, but we should have a really nice day Thursday with mild and sunny weather. Cool and cloudy right now at Emporia as well as in Manhattan and in Topeka. The current temperature is 44 degrees, east-southeast wind at 10 miles per hour. So it's chilly when you factor in that breeze. Feels a few degrees cooler for the wind chill. 44 has been the high today. Now, we were in the 20s last night when it was clear, and then the clouds started rolling in. Precipitation started to develop, and it was a rain-sleet mix for a little while. Fortunately, that was after temperatures were above freezing, so we didn't have any icing issues. But we did pick up about 1/4 of an inch of mostly rain, and up to the north, about 3/300 of an inch of rainfall at Hiawatha. Lower amounts to the south, and now the temperatures coldest to the north, warmest to the south. 50 at Emporia, 46 at Council Grove. It's up to 45 at Clay Center and 44 to 45 in Topeka. Winds coming in out of the southeast, and it's really not having a huge drawing northward of that warmer air because of the direction. When the winds turn more southerly, that's going to change things up a little bit. You may notice that happen a little bit during the night into the morning, and that's why we expect to see temperatures start to climb up a little bit, because there is warmer air to the south being drawn in. It will be breezy, though, so it's never going to feel warm tomorrow. We have rain chances, breezy conditions, and then tomorrow night, here comes this colder northerly wind blowing in toward Tuesday evening, Tuesday night. On the backside of that storm. That won't last all day Wednesday, should die down for a pleasant Wednesday afternoon. Kind of a little unsettled, though, to get us from here to there. As we're looking at cloud cover and a few scattered light rain showers right now. Clouds across the state, but watching this big jet stream disturbance out over the Four Corners region. As that approaches and gets closer tomorrow, that's going to start to trigger additional rains as we head through the middle portion of the day. We'll see our first main round of rainfall moving in, maybe even in the mid to late morning hours, and that'll move on through. We'll get additional showers and maybe some thunderstorms at times in the evening as well. But then the colder air on the backside of the storm system starts to mix or change some of the precipitation briefly over to snow before ending. I don't think it's going to end up being a lot out of that. We'll watch for that trend, but the trend is overall we clear back out on Wednesday and we see some sunshine. Tonight 45, mainly cloudy with a few showers, and then tomorrow that's a much better chance for rain, maybe a few thunderstorms with a high of 57. After that, we drop back into the upper 40s. That cooler day, even though we clear out on Wednesday, will be cool. And then 59 on Thanksgiving. Looking for low to mid 50s through the weekend, and then cooling down again into early next week. Overnight lows will be a little bit colder toward the weekend and early next week as well, with temperatures at night falling back down into the 20s. If you weren't up early enough today to see what was likely one of the prettiest sunrises you'll ever see, you missed out. Marshall Shepard at Mayetta. Here's another view of this one from Teresa Wecker, taken in Topeka. Another one in Topeka from Laverta Grieve, and all across, especially the eastern half of the area, from Tecumseh, from David Broadman, as well as a view looking down the tracks from Eileen Ziegler, taken at Silver Lake. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
A 13-year-old boy is using the knowledge he learned in his own battle with illness to potentially help countless others with the disease. Fox's Josh Rosenthal reports.
Like a lot of stories of triumph, this one starts with adversity. When 13-year-old Drew Mendelow was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes and hospitalized at Children's National in D.C. back in September.
There was a lot of things to take in for me, like learning just everything about type 1 diabetes and like how we have to deal with it every day. All the doctors giving me a lot of information, and I was feeling very overwhelmed.
He learned he'd need an app to keep track of things like insulin doses and blood sugar. But the thing is, there was no one app that did everything the team at Children's wanted.
Some of them have a fee, some of them have ads, some of them don't allow you to use different doses at different times of day.
So 13-year-old Drew took matters into his own hands.
And I taught myself to code games over the summer, and I said, an app's not too far off. So from the day I got home from the hospital, I started working on my own app.
He asked the team at Children's to beta test it and give feedback.
We tried to stress the system. We gave it all sorts of different possible scenarios. So high blood sugars, low blood sugars, different amounts of carbohydrate intake at every meal. Our focus was on safety. We really wanted to make sure that this was helpful to people and that it wasn't going to do any harm.
Flash forward to now, and not only can you get the T1D1 app on both iPhones and Androids, Dr. Bryn Marks is actually recommending it to new patients, some of whom have told Drew just how happy they are.
It makes me feel really good because it's really helping them a lot, and I know it's making their lives easier, and that makes me feel really good about it.
Wow, what a great story there. Well, Winter Wonderland kicks off this week at Lake Shawnee. Our very own chief meteorologist, Matt Miller, will light things up at 6 o'clock Wednesday night. Organizers say it's great for social distancing since you stay in your car to enjoy. The lights are on from 6 to 10 every night from Wednesday and New Year's Eve. The organizers tell us about another layer of safety this year.
iPads and square readers so you can swipe your own card. We have donation boxes that you can put your money directly into without making contact with the volunteer.
Now they are asking for a $10 donation per car and $20 per bus. That money goes to TARC's programs that helps people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Fox 43 News is a proud sponsor of Winter Wonderland, and we'll have the link to where you can buy tickets at fox43topeka.com. So Matt, how long have you been lighting up?
Several years. I've been practicing that throwing of the switch.
Yeah. You know, I was going to say, I think your arm is getting pretty stronger. I think you might want to work on the other one too.
You know, here's the thing. The fun story about that is actually I'm not the one that throws the switch. We always say I'm going to throw the switch, but technically I always let another family do it. So we do have another family lined up for this year. We'll be socially distanced, and so it's great because it's one of the families that receives services from TARC, so they get a chance to come out and actually throw the switch. I
love it.
Exciting.
Yeah.
You know, I tell you what, maybe at the end of the newscast I may practice some flipping the lights on and off. Who knows? Maybe
I think so. I mean, we've got the switch, but I think we've got some old school, like, you know.
I'll find some around here.
I think you can definitely find something, or even practice at home.
Yeah, or again, when you least suspect it, maybe I'll throw a switch.
Yeah. Oh my God, what happens to the lights?
All right, temperatures tonight dropping back down into the mid-40s. Upper 50s for the high tomorrow. A few scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms around. 80% chance for rain tomorrow. Then we start to clear out on Wednesday. We'll look for high temperatures back into the upper 40s, but a beautiful Thanksgiving day. Upper 50s with plenty of sunshine.
All right, well, thanks for watching Fox 43 at 9. Have a great night. He's practicing, guys.